Hello everyone, hope you're well. We're still in the brand new demonstrator MAN, brand new TGX, as you can see by the lovely new dashboard. That should not be there anymore, and that is my phone. That is the song I'm listening to. And yes, all the good stuff. Bye, Stobart. Right, so where are we going? Where are we going, I hear you ask? We're going to Cumbria. I've just come up through Mid Wales, and lorry performed not too bad. It was a bit sluggish because of the eco mode, or efficiency plus as MAN seems to call it, but it didn't do too bad. We've got a load of Euro pallets on, so they are a bit heavier than normal pallets, and considering I'm used to more power as well, this is only a 510, not a 580, I think I did pretty well. But if I were to have this all the time, the eco mode would drive me nuts, I gotta say. But yes, we're on the way to Cumbria, so a bit of motorway, nice little cruising, and then we'll see what it's like on the A66 over to, where are we going? Maryport. Okay, while we come through some beautiful scenery up on the M6 and get overtaken by some trucks because we are going very slow, 53 miles an hour. I've actually not overtaken a single lorry yet. There is a car transporter behind us I overtook, but he overtook me a while ago, so I don't think that really counts. Oh well, flashy. Right, cruising on the motorway. Yeah, the truck feels fine. It does seem to speed up and slow down quite a lot with the eco function in the cruise control. I don't like that. Like, for the past couple of miles it's been staying pretty constant, but when we first got on the M6, it was up, it was down. I can imagine that really annoying drivers trying to overtake me and getting them angry. So that could cause an accident if they get a bit over emotional. And another thing I've noticed is it keeps knocking off the cruise control randomly. I have no idea why. Sometimes I think it's because the revs get a bit too low. But why don't you just change down a gear? But no, it chooses to knock off the cruise and keep the gear. So that makes no sense to me, but other times it's revving as it is now. And we're cruising at 53 at 1050 RPM. So it's cruising pretty low in the revs. There's a lot of things you got to think about when comparing trucks. It's not just, oh, this brand is good, that brand is bad. Entirely dependent on how they're spec'd. But I will say we are using diesel and Adblue at exactly the same rate, which is very concerning, because I'm not sure if I'm able to buy Adblue off my fuel card, because usually we just fill up in the yard. Like on my MAN, my own truck, my regular truck, I can do 4 tanks of Adblue to 1 tank of, 4 tanks of diesel to 1 tank of Adblue. So at some point in that scale we will be back in the yard and it will be filled up, no problem at all. If for whatever reason I'm held out, I have a spare canister in my locker, spare 20 litre drum. Very rarely I have to use that, very rarely indeed. Gauge, if I go through the menus here, where are we going? Driving data, range, Fuel range 820 kilometers left remaining. Adblue range 590. So according to that, we are going to run out of Adblue before a tank of diesel. So what that means in the real world for a fleet operator is that regardless of the extra fuel economy you're getting out of the lorry, you're going to be spending that money and then some on the Adblue. What is the point in that? But yes, still plodding along on the way to Cumbria. Lovely scenery. So once we're off the M6, I'll chat to you again. And here we are, nearly here, going through a 55-foot length limit. I should be just about 55 foot, so that's not too bad. If I do say so myself. If I do say so myself. I'll get slow down this hill now. And oh, would you look at that, I have a red light. Well, that's not ideal. Oh, there we go. Must have heard me. Got a little bit tight, little bit tight, little bit tight, and we're through. I've got my sat-nav going, my old Garmin. I've left the TomTom in the truck, and I've got the built-in truck sat-nav going. And coming up the road, there was about 45 minutes difference in the timings between the two. The one in the truck was 45 minutes longer, so I thought, oh, okay, here we go. That's going to send me on some big, long, massive route now. But they've been calculating me this exact same route. The exact same. Coming along the A66 there, the time has significantly gone down on the built-in truck one. And now they're exactly the same. I don't trust sat-navs that are built into trucks. Every time I've used one in the past, it's got it wrong. Not even a little bit wrong, like majorly wrong. And considering it's built into a truck, it should work for a truck. Like even the placement of the postcode, way off. But so far so good. So far so good. I think I'm getting a bit more used to it now. I'm settling in. It's not the most comfortable MAN I've ever been in. Not sure how many springs it's got at the front. It's definitely not on air. Well, what have we done? We've done 6 hours 40 minutes driving so far. Not bad at all. Still can't get over how light the steering is. Let's see, we're going to be there in 2 miles. We've been to this one before. Anyone recognise it yet? Did not have fun the first time we were here. Because I turned up as they were all going home. So I had to find a lay-by that it was okay. Wasn't the best. But I have since found better places to park around here. I mean, I haven't had the chance to use them yet because of the way the hours and whatnot work out. According to inbuilt truck sat-nav, we're there in 1.2 kilometers. According to my sat-nav, we're there in 0.8 miles. So yeah, that's about right. So they've both actually matched that up perfectly. All I've done is stick in the postcode, I haven't actually refined it. Because I pretty much know the way here, I've been here before. It's just basically a straight road. Up the M6, junction 40, across the A66 and follow it here. I mean, we're not on the A66 anymore, but basically a straight road. Is this turning? Is this the turning? Yes? Yes. Nice and wide. I still can't get over how light this steering is. No effort to turn it whatsoever. God bless power steering. Taking off a lot of pallets. Yeah, so we are tipping now. And security guy on the gate. Oh, he was miserable. He was very miserable. I'm sure he was on the phone to his bank for a good 10 minutes before he bothered acknowledging my existence as well. So, yes. To be fair, that's about standard from the other 2 times I've been here as well. Yes. But the guy tipping me is good as gold. As always. Just noticed he moved one of my pillars that was in the way. I was going to do that. I don't like leaving the forklift driver do that. That makes me think that they think I'm lazy. He really likes doing that side. There's plenty of pallets that side he can do, but no, he likes doing that side. And on the way in, I'm in a shed, if you can't already tell. I skimmed the top of there with the back of my trailer. Because apparently whoever opened it before I turned up, didn't open it all the way. I was reversing, beep, beep, nice and straight reverse as well. Best reverse I've ever done in here, because the doorway is a bit tighter than it looks. And all I heard was a I was like, what's that? And then I saw some guy out in the yard be like, mate, go forward, go forward. It was only like, I just skimmed it, it's that much, no damage, it's alright. Right, that's us, tipped. Got an open security gate, so let's not waste the opportunity. Get out the Dodge. Axle, why does my axle drop? I don't know why, I actually checked that. Between some point in getting unloaded and getting out the gate, my axle dropped. My mid-lift. Oh. Right. Bit of a spin now. Bit of a long spin. We're going to get some fertilizer from Immingham Dock. So a nice heavy load. Nice heavy load for the back load. Well, a bit of a spin across. So we're going to be getting good MPGs on the way across, because we're nice and empty. We're averaging 8.5 up so far. Yes, the rate of consumption on the Adblue does worry me a little bit, so we'll have to have a chat with the boss in a bit. Whether we will be allowed to purchase Adblue off the pump. Whether we're able to purchase Adblue off the pump, I don't know if those cards will do it. Because some cards only do diesel. I'm not going to be out of pocket myself anyway. But yeah, so over to Immingham, it's about 4 hours across. Which is like, damn son! So I have enough working time to get there. I don't have enough driving time. I'm about an hour short. If memory serves, I think I've done this before, where I made it to Doncaster North services on the M18/M180. I remember I parked up in those services with like literally minutes to spare before. But I can't remember if it was from here. I've worked out the times. That's a bit around the time I should run out of time. This thing is in eco mode, and we did struggle a bit coming up through Mid Wales. I mean, it handled the roads pretty well. It handled the roads through Mid Wales pretty well, but it was definitely sluggish. And the power was there, but you can just feel the software keeping it back, holding it back. It wants to go, but it's not letting it go. So that did hold us up a little bit, you know. Because there were certain parts where you put your foot down and it's like... Oh wait, you want me to go? Okay. Yeah, let's go now. You know, it's not in a rush. Good morning everybody, we are parked in services on the M1, I want to say Exelby? Colleyworth? I don't know. Big Shell garage anyway, next Leeming Bar. Not too bad actually, it's alright. Big open space, got parked up here, no trouble at all. So I spent my first night in the new TGX and definitely got a few issues that I don't like. Mainly the interior lights, because there's no button for the interior lights back there. You've got to use the remote, and the remote doesn't really respond that well. Like, you press the light button, nothing happens. You press it again, nothing happens. You press it again, something might happen. So I don't like that. The one up here is in the corner, so you can easily reach it by touch. Also, I've noticed when you get in and out of the cab, the interior lights stay on. Well, they just stay on. They don't go off. So that could be an issue with battery draining. Right, set the road to Immingham. But that took no time at all for you. For me, it took about 2.25 hours. 2.25. Right, let's get loaded and be on our way, shall we? Ha! I'm half hour early. They start loading at 8. I also need a haircut. What kind of place starts loading at 8? This annoys me. Because I thought they were loading at least 7. Maybe even 6. So I gotta wait a half hour now. Yeah, well, I'll get 15 minutes in. Where the hell do I go from here? Is it forward? I'm at a different bit of the docks than where I normally go to. I think it's forward. Because I came in the other entrance, but I want to go out the entrance I usually go out, because that's the quickest way to the truck stop where I get my diesel. And today, possibly Adblue. Yes. I'm on the red line of Adblue. And I'm still a moment of truth. Hey. It works. I didn't think that would work. How much is this going to take? I was on below the quarter, so it should take, if this was my truck, about 30 litres. Maybe it does just have a small tank. Ah, 24 litres. Maybe it is actually a smaller tank. That would make sense. And now for the good stuff. Into gear, please. Thank you. Righty-ho then. Open the barrier. Very good indeed. Right, we are leaving Immingham with 28 and a bit tons of the good planty stuff. Or the good stuff for plants, rather. And I was gonna say, that this lorry so far has performed like it's got nothing on board whatsoever. And then I went round that corner. Yep, I can. You can feel it now. Yeah, I can feel it now. That's weird because you couldn't feel it earlier coming out of the port. You know, it's pulling pretty well. It's pulling like I'd expect my 580 to. So, max weight, she's pretty good. Unfortunately, it seems to be empty. She's great. Max weight, she's great. Or heavy, not max, but heavy. Because I'd say she's behaving about the same as she did with a straw in the last one. So it seems with the pallets on, about 35 odd ton, whatever we were grossing, maybe a bit less than that actually, 32. She performed a bit sluggish with them. The lovely people are laying out roadworks all over the place. And it's a pain to get out of this junction at the best of times. Oh, some new Mercedes 8x4s coming out of the dock over there. Ready for their body to be built. Oh, there we go, Steve Hughes from Steve Hughes. I think it's Steve Hughes. Yeah, Steve Hughes, the South Wales haulier, flashed me out on the run road. Very often I go on rants about I don't like being flashed out on roundabouts. But in some instances, like this one by here, it's very much appreciated. It's very much appreciated. Back to Wales now. I don't think we'll tip this because we spent so long getting loaded. Well, actually getting loaded was absolutely nothing. Waiting to get loaded. Because I turned up at 20 past 7. They don't start loading till 8. And I was second in line to get loaded. So it's 10 o'clock now. We've spent far too long in Immingham. It's time to go back to Wales. Now I'm expecting good fuel mileage coming from this one now. Because it's just motorway all the way. Even though we're quite heavy, it's motorway all the way. The only way we're really going to be stopping is for my break. Haven't decided when that will be yet. 6 hours home. So stop in about 2-3 hours. Have a break. We'll find out. Probably Hopwood Park. Or Tamworth. Right, we are leaving Ross Services. I just had a Subway. One of the few Subways that I found is open. I'm a big fan of this. Right. Not long now, about 2 hours back to Wales. Happy day. Should be able for an early finish. I'm a fan of this.
Between the bars, the strong have scarred, but you can never go back. Struggle to survive, and you're still alive.
here we are. It's getting a bit dark now, isn't it? Yes. On the home stretch. And the traffic is building. Yay. Getting back to normal, unfortunately. The important question of the day: how does this new MAN TGX compare to the old one? First off, the economy software in this efficiency board, oh, it really annoys me. Like 80-90% of the people will only experience that board. A lot of people aren't going to like this lorry. A lot of people are going to have the same opinion of this lorry as they did the previous model, or previous generation. But on a better note, steering wheel is smaller, so that complaint has been addressed. It's still got a big cab. Otherwise, as soon as you look past everything that's shiny and new, it's more or less the same. It's not really a bad thing. I mean, I've always gone along well with the cab of the MAN. I wish my regular lorry had the bigger cab, because when it's your own lorry, you kind of want a big cab to keep a lot of stuff in. If you take away the economy software, would I pick this one or my old one? Probably pick my old one, to be fair. And not just because it's got a bigger engine. I just feel like it's a simpler lorry. And while I'm a very techie person and I love all this new techie stuff in the dashboard, I don't think it's done particularly well. I mean, you got the driving hours always on the screen there, both your current session, so your current 4.5, and your overall daily, which is fantastic because the old one didn't have that. Because I have to read mine off the taco head. And luckily I got a stone ridge that allows me to do that. The infotainment system in this one, horrible. I hate it. Don't bother. It's good for looking at the sat-nav map. That's about it, in my opinion. But it keeps knocking off the cruise control all the time. Straight motorway. Just straight motorway. Just go. I don't know if I've already said that, but it keeps knocking the cruise control off all the time. That's what that ding was there. I've been trying to fiddle with things to find a reason why it's doing that. I cannot find a single reason. When I think I've narrowed it down, it turns out I'm completely wrong. Because I thought it was because the revs are getting a bit too low. No. This is a straight bit of motorway. There we are. Long story short, this MAN is very MAN-like. Unfortunately, I can't give you a better answer. But yes, the economy software really does annoy me. Like we're coming up the M4 by junction 45 here, big hill. I would change down to a length by now. We're doing 50. It's already at 900 RPM. There we go. It has now changed down to a length. We're going in the crawler lane. Lovely coming up. I would now change down to 10th. But no, it's going to hang on to a length for dear life. So we're going up here at 38 now. And it's in 10th now, which is what I would be in. But too little, too late. But that's economy software for you. Thank you for watching this sort of real-world test, I suppose you could say, of the new MAN TGX. Oh, have I sounded the horn yet? The new MAN TGX. Still got the same old horn. So, if you like this video, consider subscribing, leaving a like, comment, blah 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 blah. I'm sure I'm going to hear many divided opinions on the MAN in the comments. Because usually when I talk about the MAN, either this one or my one, I've discovered half the people have a strong opinion against it, and the other half say, yeah, it's alright. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. That's good timing. And just a reminder, if you are looking to pass your test soon or just want to refine your HGV driving skills, check out the new Truckers Handbook by Malcolm Green. It says new truckers, not just for new truckers. Veterans can learn a lot. But if you are primarily using it to pass your test, there is a chapter dedicated to all about choosing driving schools, what to prepare for, etc, etc. or when passing a test. So good book, like I said, even veterans can learn a lot from it.